Hello, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife, Lynn. And today we will address some of the questions that people have sent in to us about plasma energy.
Okay, and we also have some more information for you. So first of all, I want to let you know we have a German link where there's a video of an interview that we had that's been translated into German language. And there are a couple of documents on that site also. So if you go to our homepage, plasmaenergysolution.com, and look down, scroll down the right-hand side, and you will see the German language interview. Okay, and when we send things overseas, we send the patches, which I've shown you many times, and this is what is going on. There's a pair for every item that you may have ordered. And I just wanted to show you how somebody set theirs up very nicely. They ordered several things, and so here are several jars, and the patches are right on the sides of each one. And then they also showed how they set up their plasma energy station with the patches on it. And they have a really nice big container, glass container with a spigot on it. And questions I get will be, is it okay if the container has a metal stand, a metal spigot? Yes, it is. A lot of people ask me, can we put that in their favorite crockery dispenser? No, you can't. And Paul learned that early on. You don't use anything that's opaque. And what was the effect of the opacity?
Well, I tried to make GANs in a plastic container that was opaque, and nothing would make. It just wouldn't conduct the energy. It just, I couldn't get anywhere with it. So that was a good indication that that's not a good way to go. And once I changed to the clear plastic, everything worked fine.
Okay, and I had another question from somebody. You noticed those jars were all lined up in the picture that I showed you. And they wanted to know, well, does it affect the energy fields if they're sitting right next to each other? And here was my answer. When we have new tech frequency relief and mosquito relief sitting right next to each other, new tech frequency relief stays the same. Mosquito relief stays the same. And Paul, it's kind of like you and I are sitting next to each other, our energy fields are touching, but you're still Paul and I'm still Lynn. So,
right.
Yeah, do you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Well, say we had a visitor and you and I are sitting here together, they would get both of our energies. But if we got up and separated, then they would only be getting one of our energies, and we would still be the same individual.
And they would still be their same individual.
Right.
So it's the same. That was what I was trying to illustrate in an answer to that question. Then we have a friend who's going to be launching a new website, and she's going to feature the plasma energy station on her website. And I wanted to show you some pictures that she did. She froze a bowl of water, and I'm going to show it to you because she wanted the energy fields to be visible to people. And everything that looks dark in this picture, she's actually holding the bowl upside down. So all the energy fields are radiating out from the frozen water. Now, we did this a couple years ago, and Paul wanted to see how an energy pen that he had made did, and you can see, now Paul, these pictures have purple water. You want to tell how that happens?
Well, that's potassium permanganate, which is a chemical reagent oftentimes used as an indicator, and I just use that because it has a very definitive reddish purplish color, and it illustrates the plasma fields very nicely.
Okay, and I'm just showing you a couple more containers that we froze, and then we kind of lined everybody up together, showing all the frozen containers that we had done. And so basically, when you see all those, would you call those torsion fields that we're looking at, or?
Yeah.
Okay, and so there's going to be an introduction, and she's going to talk about several things on the launch of her website. One of them would be balancing your health and balancing your energy. And the Plasma Energy Station is great for doing that.
Right.
Okay, and then another one would be to maximize immunity. We're up in the North Country, and we've already had our first snowstorm. It's called, oh my gosh, time to get out the coats, the scarves, the mittens, the cleats, the shovels, etc. But we have like cold and flu relief. And if you feel something coming on, Paul, how has that worked for you?
It works fine for me. If I feel a scratchy throat coming on, I'll just drink that cold relief water 3 or 4 times a day, and about 2 days and it's gone. And I have not had any prolonged coughing or lung issues or breathing issues since I started using that.
Okay, and then we have some of you folks who might be watching who are in the southern hemisphere, so lucky you, it's springtime, and we do have a package for beekeepers. And Paul, would you like to show some of the what you've set up for the beekeepers? And while he's getting that out, this is a container of new tech frequency relief plasma energy water that's used in conjunction with what Paul's going to show you.
Well, this is shungite powder, and I've got it packaged up ready to send out. And this powder, shungite powder, has been treated with silver Gans water, and the combination of it has a beneficial effect on the honeybees, and it protects them from the electromagnetic fields of cell towers and high power lines and all of the other electronic soup that we live in. And at the same time, we use these shungite rocks, these little rocks, and put them at the entrance to the beehive, and the bees crawl all over them and get the powder on themselves. And this really seems to enhance the health of the bees and to eliminate their susceptibility to the electromagnetic frequencies. So that's a real benefit for beekeepers.
Well, and one of the things that the beekeepers have been doing is they'll get, of course, they're going to get a much bigger spray bottle, but they're going to spray the beehives with the water, and then the shungite powder that you showed with the silver Gans, they're going to put it like in a jar lid, and the bees walk through it.
Right.
Okay, and so this has also been shown to be effective for anybody who might have issues with their beehives, with the beetles that attack the hives or with the mites?
Yeah, hive beetles and mites that attack bees.
Okay, and then for you that are going to get to garden in the southern hemisphere, I do want to show you this great picture. This is from a home garden, and this is from somebody here in Montana. And what she is showing us is, I'm sorry, this is shiny. There we go. All the crab apples on this tree and the thick leaves. And she said last year this little tree only had about 20 crab apples, and this year the tree is loaded. And what she used was the plasma energy station water, and she sprayed some up into the tree, but then she also put some around the base of the tree. So people have found that to be pretty effective in their gardens. Now another thing, you can set up your home oasis, and there's a lot of things that you can do as enhancing the plasma energy fields in your home. So you can put the plasma energy station water in your laundry. And so everything that you're washing, sheets, towels, your clothing, will have the enhanced effect of the plasma energy in it. Then you can also take this spray, if you don't want it. A lot of people are adding the shungite powder to paint and painting the exterior walls, like say your wall that's on a living room wall that faces the outside. And our version is to have a spray bottle. This one happens to have a vial in it, but you could also set it up with patches and just go ahead and spray the walls and the curtains and things like that, the doors, and set up a plasma field inside the house. Now another thing I did was I put small containers, maybe about the size of a Carmex jar, around the perimeter of the property we live in, just to set up a whole oasis effect. And Paul, what is that actually doing what are the fields?
Well, it forms kind of a dome effect over the house and the property, and it's the same thing as what happened in Dominica with Tom Solis's parents' place when they had the plasma water there and the storm hit, the hurricane hit down there, and their house was and their gardens were all protected. Well, that puts up an energy field of protection around your home, and we don't know everything that it protects against, but it may offer a protection, a emotional, psychic protection along with physical protection.
Okay. And then there's also the aspect of just being prepared, such as having a terrible winter storm come along, a hurricane, whatever might happen. When you have your plasma energy station, and maybe you also want the first aid vials that go along with a chart of how you can address different issues, that's just another layer of protection you have. And also in our plasma energy station, we have vitamins, minerals, herbs, food energies, plus all the metal energies such as the copper oxide, the zinc oxide. Then we have the carbon dioxide, and you're pretty unusual in that you've done the gold and the silver GANs.
Right.
And it's very unusual to find any products that anybody has online that offers that.
I don't think there is any monoatomic gold or silver online other than what we have.
And that's a part of the plasma energy station. And those really took a long time to set up, didn't they?
Yes. That was very tortuous, making those.
Okay. And then on the other hand of being prepared, do you want to show the Band-Aids that you've put together? Now this is this is how Paul is addressing a sore knee, or say you have a sore shoulder, sore elbow, or whatever. And he's treated all these Band-Aids. Go ahead and tell them what they're treated with.
This is just a bunch of Band-Aids that I peeled the covering off of the center pad and put a combination of Gans waters on there for pain and arthritic knees, and I wear these on my knees, and this allows me to walk pain-free and to sleep pain-free, whereas before my knees were bothering me so bad that I really had a hard time walking. And with the use of these Band-Aids treated with the plasma energy water, my knees don't hurt at all anymore. I mean, they're good.
Okay, and we should probably show them how you do it with the X on one side of your knee and the single Band-Aid on the other. So this is just a great way if you're trying to address a painful issue. You can always make a spray bottle with the arthritis relief or the pain relief in that spray bottle and spray it directly on an area. I will sometimes, if I'm sitting for a long time typing or doing research, I will spray, if my knee gets a little sore, I'll spray it, just spray my pant leg.
If this were my knee, if her wrist were my knee, on one side I would put 2 Band-Aids with the pad part, one on top of the other, and on the other side just a single Band-Aid. And that establishes a gradient difference between the two sides and causes the energy between the two to balance.
Okay, and these are fabric Band-Aids. I should show you the other side. And you just keep them on 24/7. You shower with them on, and eventually the stickum wears out and they fall off, and then you got to go get another one. So that's why we have a whole tray of them. So we've got a good supply on hand. And then I wanted to share something. Here's something that says, I played with Miracle 2 soap and moisturizer and added the plasma energy station water to it. I have 2 rose bushes which immediately get eaten by mites as soon as the leaves come out. So this spring I put a little soap in the plasma water, sprayed them for a week every day, and only here and there during the summer. They are unblemished even until now. And this was just sent to me a few days ago, and we're talking October 2019.
Right.
So she was pretty happy about that. This is also from Yamana, who gave us the homeopathics and other supplements that she used to use. She lives in a very tick-infested area in the northeast part of the United States. And so we made a Gans of all that, which we call Lyme Relief. And she says, I got bitten 6 or 7 times in June. I had the Lyme plasma already. By holding the vial, I could actually see if I needed it or not, which is another cost-saving way. No need to send your tick in to be tested. I tested positive and had a few little symptoms during the first month, and now it's 3 months later, and I have 0 signs of Lyme. Wow, no antibiotics, difficult herbal or homeopathic protocols. And she had written on another email I got, what a shame this is so cheap.
Yeah.
So, and it was great that she shared that with us. So she also says, I will always try new things and see if there's anything to these new things. Kinesiology, or the use of a pendulum, is exciting in figuring out the plasma energy. You can, for example, check a pattern in a piece of cloth or paper before you spray the plasma on it. Then you can check the patterns afterwards. The same if you happen to wash your clothing or sheets and towels in the plasma water. Test it first and then test it afterwards. I also check my good drinking water. It is left turning only when it comes out of the faucet, and then when it's balanced and it's balanced with the plasma energy, it is right changing. I also sent the plasma to a friend in the Canary Islands, first on cloth. Her letter disappeared. Then I sprayed it on paper and just dried it thoroughly, and I wanted to make sure she actually got the plasma, so I sent it to her that way, and she got it. So that's a great way. And when I'm talking paper, this is printer paper, and that's what we're spraying when we run into situations where things aren't delivered. And then you can just simply make the patches out of the printer paper. So we've talked about the plasma energy station, and I just want to mention this is the way it goes with the 16 vials from warm door to warm door. In other words, we're losing the warm door here in the Northwest where we live. And so what will happen is we will have 4 vials that we will send out. This is BPA-free plastic, and it will be the first 4 vials on the plasma energy station will be in vial 1. The next 4 energies will be in vial 2, and so forth. So you still get all the energies. Now, if you live overseas, you get a pair of patches because they have been thoroughly soaked in the plasma energy station water. They're totally dry, and then they're encased. And there's enough plastic packing tape over the plastic baggie to probably send out a good sized box. So we go through a lot of tape around here. And for those in the States who are ordering in the winter time with, instead of getting the glass vials, say if you order new tech frequency relief or cold relief or whatever you're ordering, you're going to get it in a smaller plastic vial like this. So that's just to give you a heads up. When you're overseas, you're going to get whatever you're ordering in the form of the pairs of the patches. So Paul, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think that's about it for today.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and be sure and see our website, plasmaenergysolution.com. Oh, and by the way, we have a new report on there, and it's about a new product called KAN-SIR. Now say that out loud to yourself, and then you're going to want to go read that report that addresses what people sometimes call the big C.
Yeah, that's a very interesting report, and everybody should read it.
Oh, and it's in the free report section on the home page. Just scroll down the right side, click on it. It will ask for your email address if you haven't done our free reports before, so just put your email address and then the report pops right up. Okay, anything else?
If you feel like you've gotten value from this, give us a big thumbs up and share it with your friends and relatives. And if you have a comment or a question, leave it down below in this video, and we'll do our best to answer it in upcoming videos. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.